8-year-old Sandra Cantu. We're learning new details about the woman accused of taking this little girl's life. Now, in a moment, we're going to hear from Melissa Huckaby's ex-husband in a GMA exclusive. But first, let's take a look at the Sunday school teacher accused of committing an unspeakable crime. Here's ABC's Laura Marquez.
Thousands gathered together in Tracy, California to celebrate the brief life of Sandra Cantu.
She had the biggest heart, full of love, and she was eager to share that love.
So many people wanted to honor Sandra and to support her family that they had to open up this cafeteria and a football stadium to accommodate the overflow crowd. The community came to grieve, but they remain full of questions about the Sunday school teacher charged with killing Sandra. ABC News has learned in the days following the 8-year-old's disappearance, Melissa Huckaby was admitted to a local hospital after a suicide attempt. The more we learn about Huckaby, the more mysterious her story becomes. She's had at least 2 prior relationships with men she claimed abused her. In 2002, Huckaby took out a restraining order against a former boyfriend, Josh Palmer. ABC News has obtained Huckaby's handwritten notes alleging he stalked her, threatened to kill her, and harm her grandfather. A year later, Huckaby was married briefly to Johnny Huckaby. In divorce papers, she accused her ex-husband of child abduction and domestic violence, charges he adamantly denies. The 28-year-old has not spoken publicly since her arrest. She remains in isolation at the San Joaquin County Jail. For Good Morning America, Laura Marquez, ABC News, Tracy, California.
And we sat down with Johnny Huckaby for an interview. The pair divorced in 2005, but he gave GMA a rare and exclusive look into the Melissa he knew and once loved. What was your reaction when you heard that Melissa was accused of this type of violence?
My initial reaction was shock and complete disbelief, because it's not something you want to think anybody possible of doing, let alone somebody that you knew and that's a mother of your child.
Well, you were married, but you were young, right? And this was a typical young marriage that ended quickly.
Correct.
How long were you together?
Officially together probably a little bit over a year.
How would you describe her personality? How would you describe her to somebody?
A carefree person, somebody that I really could not see doing something like this.
Do you believe that she struggled with emotional issues?
I do believe that the emotional issues came into play quite often in her lifetime.
What kind of emotional issues?
She did suffer from depression. She did have issues with her self-persona, who she saw herself as.
Did she ever receive treatment, as far as you know?
As far as I know that I could positively say, no. But she was on medication that was prescribed, so I imagine at some point in time she did see somebody for the problems.
Was she ever violent? Did she ever hurt anybody? Did she ever talk about hurting people? Anything that gives an indication of what we're now hearing about?
No. She had never, not to anybody else that I've known, no.
Is there any way that this could have been an intentional situation, from what you know of Melissa?
From what I know of her, no, I don't see this being any type of intentional situation. What's
been your best sense of what Melissa's life has been like since you two separated in 2003?
Well, from what I understand, she went to school and she got a job. She was making fairly good money, and she had a pretty good life going, the last I'd heard.
What's your sense of what kind of mom Melissa has been to your daughter?
As far as I'm concerned, as much as I know, she was a good mom to her.
When you saw the images of Melissa, the pictures, the video of her in her prison garb, her face, her reactions, do you recognize that person?
No.
How's she different?
The way she walked out there was not the person that I knew. It looks like she was a person in somebody else's body.
You holding out hope that this is not true? That the mother of your daughter?
Of course. I wouldn't wish this on anybody, especially on the family members of the victim, but mainly for my daughter. I mean, I do not want my daughter growing up with that type of legacy to look forward to.
Where's your daughter now?
She is in a safe place.
And what is your understanding of how your daughter is doing?
She is doing very well right now. She does not have any knowledge of the situation that's going on, which is best.
All right, John, thank you. I know this is a very difficult situation. I'm glad to hear that your daughter's unaware and that she's safe, and I wish you the best with that.
Okay, thank you.
Now, because this situation defies understanding, especially for a mother to do something like this, we're looking into the past. What influences were there in Melissa's life that could have led to this? Now, in this divorce with John Huckaby, there were allegations with him about substance abuse, domestic abuse. John denies those claims adamantly. Take a listen.
Melissa went to a judge with these allegations that are completely false. I never received any paperwork on it. I did not get a chance to rebut myself in court.
But he says they are untrue, and the story